is Russ. Yeah, take a look at this. Yeah, that is the 52 volt 20 amp hour battery on the Magicycle. Yeah, it came in on Saturday. Today is being Monday, so I figured I'd take it out on the road. I've got to find out what its maximum range is. I'll show you how I put this all together too. A second battery is sitting on the rear. That is the Magicycle original battery, the 52 volt 15 amp hour battery in there. And that is the fireproof case that they sell. So I put it in there because I need some way to strap it. So what I did is I just put a bunch of bungee cords around it, and that bag handles 2 batteries. Of course, there's only 1 battery in there now. So I put my Ebikes bike lock on the second area. So it has a lot of extra space, so I just kind of squished it down a little bit and stuck it on the rack. This is what the bike looks like now at this point. So you see the new battery has a more understated name on it. So when you take a look at the Magicycle name, it's very small now, which I actually prefer. I don't actually like the big branding all over it. I mean, they've got quite a bit of branding as it is. You have it on the chain guard down there. You've got it on the front fork. So yeah, and there's one on the front here too, but I've got a basket in the way. So what I did is I took the bag that I normally had in the rear and I stuck it up in the basket, and this is what carries all of my tools and spare inner tubes and all that type of stuff. So just kind of give you a quick overview of what's there. Of course, I have the front light blinking there. My bottle cage on the rack, which I twist tie, or zip tie. I always say twist tie. And of course, the upgraded hydraulic brakes are on there now too. So the only thing this is now missing to turn it into a full pro version of the Cruiser is the hydraulic front fork. But Magicycle did say that they are planning to send me one for me to replace my fork with a new one. Now, they do not intend to sell this separately, all right? They're only doing it for me, so don't ask me to get you one because I can't, all right? All right, I'm gonna put this stuff back in here. So my audio recorder now goes in here. Let me flip this around here. I gotta get my cables right. Then all I do is I zip that up. There we go. And now reattach the transformer for the microphone onto my vest. All right, get back on here. Let me get off of this. We're heading this direction. I just pulled off to the side and did a quick recording for you guys because I'm sure you wanted to see what that looked like. So where are we headed today, being that we're back on the road again? Well, today being Monday, make sure this guy stops here. He went quite a bit forward. I wasn't sure whether he was going to stop or not, so I made sure I stopped. I had right away. Anyways, today being Monday, not yesterday, but the Sunday before, I went on a church picnic to Glenview, and the park is called Flick Park in Glenview for you local guys. Nice park. I figured we'd take a ride out there. Now, of course, I didn't take my bike when I went out there before. I was in a car. But I figured, hey, let's see if we can ride over there. So what I did is I turned on the Apple Maps and checked out what kind of roads it had suggested me to take. And a lot of it actually is the same road that I take when I went to the Botanic Gardens. But there'll be a point where get away from all that noise. They were doing some type of construction on the rooftops of these mausoleums. folks that are off to our left side. Anyways, I figure I'd take a ride out there, see how well we do. The thing is, I need to find out what the baseline is for this battery. How far can I really get? Because the battery being 52 volts, 20 amp hour, the original battery was a 52 volt, 15 amp hour. So carrying both batteries gives me now 35 amp hours of usage, right? How far can I actually get? So according to the map, and I've been riding for a while now. I've already been riding 6.8 miles before I turned you guys on. According to the map, I believe this is a 15 or so mile trip to get there and 15 miles back. So that's only 30 miles. This battery should have no problem doing that. The thing is, I don't want to be far away. Well, he's holding those people off, so I guess I can go. They're doing some type of construction again on the road. So there was a construction guy who was holding off the traffic, so gave me a chance to pass. So yeah, I don't want to be far away when this battery starts dying down. I want to be closer to home. So I figured if I do 15 miles there, 15 miles back, that's 30 miles. I'm going to guesstimate I should be able to get between 35 and 40 miles. That's my guess, at least. But again, everything depends on how you ride, what the terrain is, how heavy you are, all that stuff. Here's my logic behind this. I'm not pedaling in very high pedal assist levels. I'm in pedal assist level 3. I don't recall exactly what my settings were. I'll check and put it on the description if I remember. A little graphic for you to see what was my percentage assist on pedal assist. And so I've been pedaling most of this way so far, and I continue to be pedaling now. And when I'm tired a little bit, I will throttle, but I've been looking at the watt meter here, which is right over here. It's hard for you to see it with the glares, but it's roughly around the 300 watt area. So as you know, the Magicycle will peak out at 900 watts. Now, if you go from a dead stop and just start pedaling, you're going to hit 900 watts, and then it's going to start to fade back. All right, and of course, if you throttle, you'll hit 900 watts immediately, and depending on how hard you hit the throttle, it'll fade back or just stay at 900 watts. Now, as you know, I usually ride pretty hard, and when I say hard, I mean I usually have a lot of pedal assist at a higher level. I usually travel at a faster speed. I usually throttle and pedal at the same time, or just throttle, and so I eat up a lot of wattage. So what I'm doing right now is if I have to use a throttle, I'm using it very conservatively. In other words, I'm not pushing all the way down on it. Right now it's showing a wattage use of about 300 something watts, which would pretty much match what it would be if I was just pedaling, like I'm pedaling right now. So in other words, I'm trying to keep it within that, let's say 300 to 400 watts of usage, something like that. Okay, now even if I throttle a little bit, it jumps to 900 immediately and then starts going back down. Yeah. So the whole point is depending on how you use it, that's what your range is going to be like. So if I take this Magicycle out and try to do the Botanic Gardens, we know that we did this Botanic Garden ride not too long ago, and I had the Rad Rover 5. I had two 52 volt 20 amp hour batteries, the triangle batteries from China, from Unit Pack Power, and I'm able to do that ride with no problem. But as we know, even if I max out the Rad Rover 5, it peaks at 750, whereas this can peak at 900. So this would actually eat up more power if I peaked it all the way out to 900 plus. All right, I think it actually goes past 900. I think this thing just shows you up to 900. It just feels like it goes a lot more than that. So keeping it down in the 300 to 400 ranges, I should get some pretty decent range, I would tend to think. That's my hope. All right. So again, let me say this. Thank you to Magicycle for supplying me a 20 amp hour battery. Yeah, I did not pay for it. It's not done in exchange for anything, so that's why there's nothing that says paid promotion on the video, because I'm not expected to do anything with this battery in exchange for the battery. They just gave it to me because they wanted me to be able to go farther. So yeah, of course, Magicycle gets some promotion out of it because I'm going to be using the bike a lot more. So obviously it's beneficial to them, beneficial to me, beneficial to you. Everybody wins. So now I could take a look at the voltage on the meter, but I have it set up as a percentage, and right now it's showing after 8 miles of ride I'm down to 95%. Okay. Now I usually ride my batteries down to 10%, but I may even take this one down to 6 or 7%. You know, you don't want to drain this thing. That's the worst thing you could do to a battery. But I need to find out how far to go. Now before I took this out, I did charge this thing up to its point where the battery charger went into the green. It went from red to green. Now typically I will do a deep charge on batteries at least for the first time I ride it, and sometimes maybe a couple months later I'll do another deep charge. And when I say deep charge, I'm saying past the point where the thing turns green. You know, maybe like 12 hours of charge time, something like that. And the reason you do that is so that it gets some of that power into all of the cells, not just the ones in the front. All right. Now Magicycle never says anything about this, but I know Rad says that that is something that you should do, is to get it deep charged every now and then. But in general, they want you to pull it off after it turns green. So I kind of maintain that philosophy. I've heard this from other companies that do batteries as well. I think the unit pack power said something about that as well, to give it a little bit more, you know, at least the very first couple times. Rad tells you to do it 3 times, you know, the very first 3 times you ride the bike. So I don't know if I'll do all 3 times on this thing, but I will do it at least after this ride. I'll give it a nice deep charging time, and then hope that that keeps the batteries nice and fresh and ready to go. So I just charged it to green and stopped for this very first time out there. Usually when they send batteries out to you, they usually have this charged up to a certain percentage, maybe let's say 75%, something like that. They don't want to be shipping batteries at full charge, quite frankly. Usually not a good idea to do that. And storage too, as I mentioned in the past, if you're a longtime Russ is Right user, during the winters, because here in the Midwest I cannot, well, you could, but I don't ride during the winter months when there's snow and ice. It's going to be sitting in storage, and when you're storing it for over a month or so, you should lower that battery down to say 70-75%. I keep wondering if that was one of the reasons why that BMS board finally died on the unit pack power units. I mean, really, it would only go so far, and then it would just shut itself down, go a couple miles and just die. So who knows? But as time has gone by, others who have unit pack power batteries similar to mine have reported a similar thing happening to their batteries, where they also were told that it's probably the BMS board. They either had a batch of bad BMS boards that went out to a bunch of people, including me, or something. You know, it doesn't make sense that so many of us have had the same problems with that board. So I think a couple of them too also got brand new batteries, just like I did. I mean, if they tell you to change out the board and you can't do it, what are they supposed to do? If you don't have a soldering iron, if you've never soldered before, they can't make you do it. So I think they got new batteries too. So anyways, if you're one of the guys that got it, let us know. in the comments that you got a new board, or I'm sorry, new battery, instead of them forcing you to do a board. In fact, let me know too if they told you to to change out the board yourself, and what did you do? Did you actually try it, or did you tell them you couldn't do it? Let me know. All right. So we're at about 93% right now, at almost 9 miles into the ride. All right, we got to turn here, take a left. So yeah, I've been very conservative considering how you normally see me riding. I'm probably averaging about 15-16 miles an hour on average. I'll go up, I'll go down a little bit. Not going too fast. It's a fairly decent day today. I figured this was the best day for me to do it because it's not that hot. I think it's around 75, 76 degrees right now, something like that. Or it'll hit that high, something like that. It's not gonna get real hot today. So that's why I'm wearing the black shirt today. Black long sleeves. My wife actually, she actually told me to get a couple more of this type of shirt. This black one, believe it or not, is UV rated, meaning it cuts out UV. And okay, this thing's gonna take me on to Rand Road. I remember I told you guys I don't like being on Rand Road, but that's where it's taking me, so we're gonna have to take it. I decided I'm gonna take whatever road this thing tells me to do today. Hopefully it doesn't kill me. I think it's gonna take me Rand Road to Central. Before, I've taken roads that took me around to Central. Yeah, let's take the sidewalk. Let's do that. There's nobody here right now. Central's just 2 stoplights ahead of us here.
Take a slight left, turn onto East Central Road.
Let me stay away from the cars at this time. Okay, we got a roadblock. All right, apparently we're going on to the streets because this thing is not gonna let me through here without me going onto the street. See, this is the problem of taking side streets, or the sidewalks, I mean. Sometimes you got no choice. Sometimes you have to take the street. All right, cars, let's let the cars go through. I've actually got to go over here because that's a turn lane. These are the problems we have, right? Got to stay on the street here. There's always some anxiety when you get on the road and you got all these cars with you. All right, what I'm going to do for Central, rather than try to take a left turn from the left turn lane, I'm going to cross the street and get up on the sidewalk and then cross over. I think that's my best bet. So let's cross the street. Let's get up on the top here. And then we'll cross over. I think that's my safest bet. That squealing is a truck that's turning here. Dr. Pepper's truck. So overall, this ride should be fairly familiar. We're going back on Central now, which is the one that had a bike lane, but you don't get the true bike lane until you've ridden for a while. And then we're going to cross over heading towards Glenview. So we're not going the same thing that we did to the North Branch Trail and getting to Bussy Woods, but you know, part of this ride is similar, but not all of it. And we've never been, okay, I take that back. I've been to Glenview once. The very first time I went to the North Branch Trail, the map program sent me through Glenview for whatever reason to get to where I wanted to go. So I had been through Glenview on the bike before on the Rad Rover 5, but not currently. Haven't been there in a while. That was last year. It kind of forced me to do that. All right, the problem with this this street here is I can't see the the stoplights on any of it, because the angle that I'm at, I can't see whether I can cross or I can't. And there's no push button thing. There was a push button thing to change the lights, but it's for the direction where you just cross through, but not to the direction I'm heading towards. So I can only go when I see all these other cars go. And of course I got to make sure that people turning right don't turn into me, which I think we're okay for now, so I'm gonna go. So now we have road construction guys in front of me, which will force me onto the lane with the cars again. This is the problem, right? You can't win. All right, we're gonna go on the sidewalk. We're gonna have no choice. We're gonna have to go on the sidewalk to avoid those guys. I don't want to be on the only lane that's open on the road. We'll go through this way first. Again, the problem too is you have to duck because the tree branches are so low. So I'm ducking to avoid being hit by trees. This is the problem of being on sidewalks. All right, we'll take the sidewalk for a while, unless we can't. And I don't think we can pretty soon because we got trees that stand and stick out. All right, we're gonna have to go back on the road. This is not fun. All right, back on the road. All right, so now I'm gonna have to eat up some wattage because I've got to compete with the cars now. So I'm doing full throttle on the Magicycle, and that's gonna eat my battery a little bit. We're at 89%. So there's no cars around me now, so I'm just gonna ease up a little bit on that whole throttle business. Go a little bit slower. If cars start coming up behind me, I'll speed up. But to keep my wattage use a little bit lower, I'm gonna throttle very slowly. I'm not pedaling. Usually when I'm on streets like this, I don't pedal. I don't want to be thinking about pedaling. I just want to get off the street as fast as I can. Alright, I think the main thing is if I didn't have mirrors, I would have big trouble riding streets. If you ever plan to ride on streets, you better get some mirrors. You gotta know what's coming up behind you, so you know how to evade if you need to. Alright, for local guys, we're on Wolf and Central Road. I believe this is Mount Prospect again. Yeah, so I thought about, where I should go, and I said I can't go too far, but I do want to go some distance to use up the battery and test it out. And I figured 15 miles out, 15 miles back, 30 miles, that's not too bad. I think even the original 15 amp hour battery should be able to do that, but it might be tight. That looks like a little mini motorcycle, a little mini bike almost. It just passed. All right, let's go. And we got cars behind me, so I'm gonna throttle up a little bit. So we will get a bike lane coming up ahead of us. But up to this point, there is no bike lane. This portion technically is not the bike lane. But it is once we pass the street. So now we are on their bike lane. Now the bike lanes, as we said, you got to be careful of because there's usually some type of thing obstructing it, or there might be potholes, or there's a lot of potential hazards. I got to go 2.1 miles on this. Which means we will pass probably Oakton Community College again. Alright, here's where the potential hazard is. I've got to let this car go past me first. And then I've got to avoid these potholes. Look at all this. Terrible. They got to fix that. Alright, so we have another cemetery to our right this time. Yeah, we'll pass Oakton Community College, that's for sure. I think this street called Dear Love Road that we're looking for is past that area. Yeah, overall, I'm glad they have the new battery. I've been waiting a long time, as you know, just like the rest of you guys. Oh, and I have heard from others that said that their bikes have been delivered. There's a big hump. I told you, there's a big bump right there. Not a bump, it's an indentation right there. I hit that last time too. I saw it at the last minute, but we still went through it. People have reported that their Magicycle Cruisers have been delivered. Those with the Magicycle Cruiser Pros have been delivered. I don't know if all of you guys got it. Maybe if you haven't, it'll probably be coming. I saw a photo of the warehouse in California, and it was stockpiled of bikes. So, yeah, you should be getting your bike soon if you haven't already. Thank you guys for buying the bikes. Magicycle tells me a lot of you guys bought bikes from them. More than I could have imagined. That would have came from Russ's right. But yeah, you guys did well. Thank you. Magicycle thanks you too. All right, now the question is, will we run out of bike lane? Because further up ahead, as we know, this bike lane runs out, and then you have to join in with the cars on their road. We'll see if we have to do that. I have a feeling we will have to do that. Now, the bike lane has a lot of foliage sticking out that I'm going to hit unless I move into the street. So I'm going to move into the street now. I slowed down. I don't want to hit all this stuff. If you take a look on the right hand side, take a look at all that sticking out. There's no way I could ride through that without getting hit. So that forced me off onto the road, which is dangerous. You got to make sure there's nobody behind you so you can do it. And they really need to cut that stuff back, but I'll guarantee you nobody's thinking about it. So it's going to be probably not even done. And by the time they notice it, you know, how many bike riders have already gone past it, right? So this is Oakton Community College to our right-hand side, which I know you can't see, but let me grab the camera again. There you go. That's Oakton. We saw Oakton last time. Oh, there was one thing I did not do the last time we went towards the Botanic Garden. I told you that there was a house that I passed up that had a sword in the stone. Yeah. And I was going to try to do that, take a photo or something, or at least stop and let you see it. But I didn't get to do it last time. I don't think we're going to go far enough to be able to go see that. But yeah, kind of reminded me that I forgot to do that. And the next time we do Botanic Gardens or something, maybe I'll show you if I remember. So all the noises you hear is branches and things that get crunched as I roll over them. .7 more miles. So yeah, I think we are going to run out of the bike lane. It'll be right close to where we run out of the bike lane. I have to take a left. What I just passed to was what one of you guys had told me, that I could actually take the Des Plaines River Trail. That was one of the entrances there. Not sure if I will really do that. I've been really thinking about it, but I don't know. Part of me says, let's try something new. The other part of me says, well, it is gravel on some, although it's nicely packed gravel. I don't know. Bike lane ends. Okay, well, we're gonna go forward, and then further up we're gonna run out of the bike lane, just like before. Good time for some water. Now I figure I'm gonna let this video run today until we at least get there. We've gone 12 miles, and according to the map, like I said, it's a 15-mile run. We've only got 3 more miles to get there. So I'm gonna run it all the way till we get there. Now I do have cars behind me. I am slowing down because I want these guys to go way past me, because I'm gonna run out of road later up ahead. I gotta make sure I got a clear path to get into their lane. So the best thing to do is just let them pass. Let all of them pass through. I got one more car. And he is gone. So now that he's gone, I can go into their lane. Because if you see right here, we don't have any more road. And it shows that I need to take a left-hand turn at this light. So since nobody's behind me, I'm kind of lucky at this point to stay in the lane. Alright, we're going to go into the turn lane here. Left-hand turn is out. And I'm going. Wasn't too bad. Could be worse. Alright. We are in Glenview, I believe, because I saw some signs about Glenview. So yeah, I've been throttling a little hard in the last few moments there. I'll back off again now. We are at 70% battery. We got plenty of battery. Now, there's usually more in the beginning than you think. That 100% stayed there for, I think, like 8 miles, something like that. And that's because, you know, it's got a lot more ability to give you more juice. And these meters don't read every little thing. It reads what's coming down. So if you got a lot above 100%, it's just going to read 100%. And then once it gets below 100%, then it starts reading down. Okay. So it's not truly 100% accurate that way. This is why some people just monitor the voltage, because you can change the display here so it shows you voltage rather than percentage. But I've been on percentage for a while now, so I figured, well, that's all I really need to know. I just need to know when it's dying. I don't need to know when it's got a lot of juice, because when it's got a lot of juice, who cares? You can go as far as you want. All right, let's see. We're gonna have to be on this lane now. I don't know what this guy behind me is gonna do. All right, I'm gonna throttle a little bit here now. Don't want to be thinking about pedaling. So one of you guys said that one of these days you're going to be brave enough to go on the roads. Yeah, it takes a while. I tell you. I'm going to pedal again. Yeah, I didn't want to go on the roads at all in the beginning when I first got my bike. And then one woman said, Russ, you're afraid of everything. You don't go anywhere. That was enough to push me over the edge. That's when I said, all right, we've got to hit the road. We got to get out on that street. And that's when I started taking the roads. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit of push to get you to go. And you can't hang out on sidewalks forever. Sometimes you have no choice. Then like we saw, you know, even though I was on the sidewalks, I was kind of pushed into the road. You don't know what you're going to run into. You know, if things are road blocked and whatever, you're going to have to go on the road if you want to continue on. So unless you really know the path that you're going, you really know what's happening, you know, in your neighborhoods, and you really know when the constructions are happening, sometimes you're pushed into it. So you got to feel comfortable eventually to join some of the cars. Now, some of you guys have mentioned too that you noticed that the cars seem to be really close to me. Some of them are very close. Most of them tend to move out of the way, but some of them are very close. Got to be able to ride straight and not weave, because you might hit them or they might hit you. Most often, I think it's the camera angle. I'm going to throttle a little bit. I'm getting a little tired here. 300 more feet. Yeah, we've reached our destination. Okay, let's see. We got to cross over, but I think let me stop over here. Let these cars go past first. There's a lot of cars here. There's a couple of school buses too. I'm gonna let school buses go by. Now I don't know if they have any type of bike path thing here or not, but I kind of figured I'd ride up over here anyways. I didn't get to really see the entire park. I was just here, like I said, on a picnic. And I'll let all these cars go. All right, time for us to go. So this is called Flick Park in Glenview. I just thought it was a nice looking park. Let me show you around here. I don't know, there's so many school buses. This must be summer camp or something. I don't know why there's so many school buses here. Yeah, so we all came out here. We used this facility that's up ahead over there. Yeah, I think there is a path that goes around here. Let me see if I can get on it. I'm just hopping along right now. I'm not riding, I'm just kind of hopping. All right, let's go up this path here. Let's see if this takes us around it or something. It's a little sidewalk. Yeah, we used this facility on the left. There's water here. I saw some guys fishing this. Let me show you that. There's a bridge up ahead too. So yeah, I don't know if they catch anything out here, but thought it was interesting. Let me turn off this map too, otherwise it's going to keep telling us to get back on there. Let's see if there's a way to shut us down. I think this thing en route. There we go. Get that out of there. So we're at 67%. Trip meter is 13.7 miles. Pedal assist level 3. I've been using gear 7 most of the time. Okay. Where does this take us through? Oh, okay. This takes us through the bridge. Let's go through the bridge. Morning. Ah, you can hear that thing creak and crack. Morning. Yeah, it's kind of a narrow pathway here. You gotta be careful who's on the road, squirrels and all. Yeah, it's a nice park. It's got water. I don't know if there's any fish in there or not. I wonder if we can go on the other side. Yeah, maybe. Let's go down this way. Yeah, this park is a lot bigger than I thought. They've got some volleyball nets off on that side there. There's like volleyball nets there. Okay, let's go down this way. Morning. Hi. All right. Yeah, this is definitely a walkway, not a bike riding way. Nobody seems to care at this point. I mean, there's hardly anybody here right now. Yeah, nice. I won't go around second time because there are people here on certain areas. But yeah, it's nice. But I just wanted to at least have a destination to go to. So 14 miles so far. So it's actually less than it said. It said 15-mile trip, but 14 miles we're here. Less than 14 miles. Morning. It's some of the reasons why I like having the knobby tires. If I have to go up on the grass off the sidewalk, I can do it. As long as there's not like a big bump that either get on or get off the sidewalk, I can ride off and ride back on. Alright, this other path goes off, so we'll go through this way. Morning. Alright, let's go out this way. Kid was waving hi to me. Waving hi to strangers. Alright, well, we did it. We went around. I don't really want to go a second time around, but I'll turn around at this point. Alright, so let's see. 65%, trip 14.2. Alright, let me set up my map again. And I am using the bike option. Okay, I'll take this. Yeah, they gave me 3 options how to go. I'll take the one starting route to home. Okay, well, let's all go home. Alright, we're gonna head back. That was kind of a short-lived run. Well, I think I'm gonna let you guys go. How's that? I'll do this trip back on a separate video if you want to see it. But I've noticed too that if we do too long of a series, we start losing people's interest. So yeah, maybe we won't do it back, but I'll record it. I'll make a decision. Maybe we'll show it another day. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys next time.